Yep, right here.
Okay, well, thanks for having me. My name is Megan Gottlieb. I work at the Corps of Engineers in downtown Pittsburgh. And so one of the questions that you guys had was about Yough Dam. So Yough Dam is one of our 16 flood risk management, flood control projects that we have in the Pittsburgh district. And the whole point of this dam is to prevent flooding downstream, or to reduce it, right? So as we all know that back in September, Tropical Storm Gordon came through, and it gave about 7 inches of rain to the project in about 3 or 4 days. And I did a little homework, and so Sutersville crested on September 11th at about 26.5 feet. And why is that significant? Well, other than you living there and you know that that was a significant amount of water, that was the 7th highest historic crest, right? And so how does this relate to that dam up the river, right? So what those dams are designed to do is to hold back water from entering the river downstream. So we have 2 types of flows in the Pittsburgh district. We have controlled flows, and those are all of the flows that fall into the river, into the watershed above the dam, so that when the water falls down that little river, and it will land in the dam. Now, a drop of water that falls below the dam, such as at Sutersville, Connellsville, Confluence, Ohio Pile, that's all uncontrolled flow. So what you saw on September 11th was uncontrolled water we can't control. And so what happens is all that water hits the uncontrolled portions, and the river rises really quickly, really fast, and then it comes back down. And once that river starts coming down, then us up at the dam will say, hey, okay, it's now safe. Let's let go of that water that we stored up in that lake. Let's let go of that slowly and in a controlled way. So we're not looking to make a higher crest, and we're not looking to keep anybody flooding. So we look for the river to rise and start falling downstream, as it did on September 11th. But we also wait until it's below those critical flood stage levels that the National Weather Service sets forth. We don't want to make sure water's still in people's basements. We need to make sure all that is gone. But we want to make sure that we can get rid of that water from the dam so that if another storm comes through. So it kind of works like we store the water, and then when the rivers downstream start to fall off, we let it go. That reservoir, it rose about, I have a number here, it rose about 15 feet from that rainfall event, right? And if that reservoir hadn't been there, that crest at Sutersville would have been another 4.5 feet higher. So you're looking at a crest that was probably going to be the worst flood of record at it all. So without that dam, you could imagine another 5 feet of water on top of that. So that's kind of how we talk about what our dam does. It holds back that water. If it wasn't for the dam, everything would be uncontrolled flows.